Welcome back to Free for All Sports. My name's Adrian, aka Temp.
I'm Ray, aka Coach Ray. We're gonna jump right into our quick hit. Starting it off with Jaromir Jagr with 693 goals passes Steve Yzerman on the scoring list for the New Jersey Devils.
Just to let you know, that's hockey, people. Because that's our first time talking about. Well, we talked about
it before. This is our first time actually mentioning something in detail.
Yeah.
Great job, Jaromir Jagr, if that's your real name.
Gretzky. Okay, now we're just going to jump right into some baseball. We got Robinson Cano, who just recently signed a 10-year, $240 million contract with the Seattle Mariners.
That's $24 million a year before taxes.
And by the time his contract's up, he'll be over 40.
So which means he's only going to probably play about a total of like 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years, $24 million a year.
I'm good.
Still a lot of money.
I'm good.
You know, he still gets all his endorsements. You know, Jay-Z getting to cut all that too, but hey, he's making.
You know, the crazy thing about it, like Jay-Z tried to pull $300 million out of the Yankees. The funny thing about that conversation was that Steinbrenner basically said that you're not that important as an agent, Jay-Z. You're not gonna pull $300 million out of the Yankees.
Yeah, If he was younger, I think it probably could have happened. It could have been. It would have. I think it might have been over 240. It might have been maybe 260. But it didn't happen. He's with the Mariners. Yankees are still they're doing some things. So.
Good job not having a playoff run, Cano.
Yeah, it's
getting used to that.
It's going to be an interesting year in baseball.
You're going to be asking for a trade by the All-Star break. Trust me.
If he doesn't fake an injury.
Yeah, nobody cares about Seattle.
Yeah.
In baseball, at least.
Talk about Kobe now. Kobe is back.
Kobe! Yes! He's back.
They put him at point guard. And turn the ball over.
This is why D'Antoni should be fired. Right there. Who in the world says, hey, our best slasher/scorer is back. Let's put him at point guard. Yes.
But he's not in the...
But... Truth be told, would you have put Kobe at point guard? Answer the question.
No, he's not a point guard.
No, he's not a point guard. That's why I say D'Antoni. When that decision was made, D'Antoni should have been fired that day. He should have been fired.
Well, they were running out of point guards. I don't know who else they could have played at.
That's why they invented this little thing called free agency. Get you a point guard that can sustain while your other guards are hurt. All you need him to do is facilitate the floor. That's it. I would have made a desperation trade for Derek Fisher back. Something. But to say, hey, Kobe, you're our best person that attacking the rim. That's, our leading scorer. But you play point guard.
But they wanted to keep the point guards they had. They got Farmar, they got Steve Blake, and they got Steve Nash.
How long?
There's no use in signing another point guard.
Oh, and you're not signing him for, you're just going to sign him to a minimum contract. When Farmar or whoever comes back, you release him. You're not hurting. It's not hurting your cap space.
It's just Kobe was the best option because you don't want to put Wesley Johnson or Nick Young at the point. Kobe's a veteran. He wasn't in the slashing mode just coming back from his Achilles injury. So I think Kobe putting that point was the best option at the time.
It was a smart option because of his injury, but it was a dumb option because now what you've done is you've now created a situation where every player who normally does not move without the ball now actually has to move without the ball. And Kobe Bryant, who likes to take shots, is going to take shots before he even looks to see if anybody's moving.
He had a couple games with a lot of assists. He had 13 assists in one of the games.
Yeah,
but he had a lot of turnovers.
He had a lot of turnovers because he's not a point guard.
But then again, he hasn't even had a full month yet in the NBA.
He shouldn't be playing point. Like, now you got players in the league like LeBron James, for the sake of the argument. I've oftentimes said he's not the best player in the league right now. I still say Kobe Bryant is. That's not biased. That's just proven fact. But LeBron James can play point guard well. He can play it well.
LeBron James is hands down the best player in the NBA right now.
As long as Kobe, as a fan of basketball or whatever, as long as Kobe Bryant is breathing, he's clearly the best player in basketball. That's okay. Yeah, that's biased. Whatever.
Kill yourself.
It's biased. Whatever. It's supposed to be unbiased, but it's biased. Whatever.
You can't. Can you say that with a straight face?
No.
Okay, that's.
I can say it as a Laker fan.
Okay.
But but LeBron can play point.
Coach Ray's opinions about Kobe and LeBron do not reflect the overall view of the show. Just let you know.
It reflects a fan of the Lakers and Kobe Bryant, but Kobe Bryant should not be playing point guard. That's just case in point.
Kobe's back. They get a point guard back. They'll be healthy, and hopefully they'll make a run. I really don't
Hurry
care
up back, Farmar.
Yeah.
We need you.
But that's going to end our segment on quick hits. When we get back, we'll talk about our main topics, which is the national championship game in college football, Florida State versus Auburn, and we'll also be talking about
the state of the NFL when we come back.
Welcome back to Free For All Sports. We jump right into one of our main topics today, which is the Florida State-Auburn game for the national championship. And apparently my co-host thinks that Florida State's going to win.
Everybody knows I'm a University of Miami fan. I rep the U. But you got to be realistic in the situation. They're going to win the game. Florida State's winning the game.
Okay, so who has Florida State played this year?
Miami.
Okay, so who has Florida State played this year?
They beat Duke, who apparently dominated their side of the ACC.
Exactly. If your toughest competition is Duke, then yeah.
I'm just saying.
You're going against a quality SEC team that beat Alabama.
First of all, let's clear this up. They beat Alabama.
Yep.
It was an awesome game.
Okay.
But they beat Alabama on a fluke play.
Okay. But the game
they
still
beat
was close.
I'm not denying that. Alabama played more than one close game this year. That's not the only close game Alabama played.
What other close game they play?
What was it? Who was it against? No, they blew them out. Never mind.
Yeah, they blew out every team they played this year.
Okay, all right.
Auburn.
But at the end of the day, was it a design play or was it like one of those once in a lifetime great plays?
It was a great play.
It was a once in a lifetime great play.
But at the end of the day, they were still in the game at the end of the game, and they won.
Okay, that happens in college football. You're gonna have some games. Somebody you can't dominate every team you play against.
It doesn't happen.
But you know who did?
Who?
Florida State.
Yeah, they did, but they didn't play nobody.
It doesn't matter.
You know the SEC is like everybody that goes from the SEC. They're like, well, they're pretty much NFL ready. You don't hear that from the ACC.
You don't, unless they went to Miami. But but let's be realistic here. We talking about the situation. Florida State dominated everybody they played against, right or wrong.
Right.
Okay, they have the Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback, right or wrong.
Right.
Okay. Auburn has a gifted running game.
They have a gifted offense.
They have a gifted running game.
They have a gifted offense.
When they beat Alabama, most of their scores came from off the ground. Correct me if I'm wrong.
They had special teams touchdowns.
Special teams touchdown and
a passing touchdown. And they had some rushing touchdowns.
And some rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. So they have a good offense.
They have a decent offense, but a better running offense. They have a good defense and a running offense. Florida State has a all-around offense and a strong defense. Florida State's winning the game. Final score of the game, Florida State 32, Auburn 24. I'm calling it right here.
Okay, first of all, I know you think Florida State has a defense, but only the toughest opponent they had to face offensive-wise was Taj Boyd and Sammy Watkins, which... You know, they beat them. They thoroughly beat them.
You can't, and you know what? This is something that I've become a believer in as far as coaching. I mean, not coaching, but watching college football and sports. You can't help who's on your schedule.
Exactly. Okay.
You can't help. If the SEC,
you're right.
SEC's tough. The SEC's tough. We got that. But you can't help who's on your schedule. If they're not playing up to the level that they should be playing up to, that's not your fault.
Okay, but you look at Auburn's offense. Have you actually looked at what they do in their offense?
I have seen what they do in
their
offense.
They have like three or four options every time they run. They can run out the same formation, and they can do it four different ways.
You know what offense it looks like? It looks like the exact same offense that Jim Harbaugh ran when he was at Stanford. You could run 6 or 7 plays out of one formation.
They didn't have a Trey Mason, though.
I'm just saying that the offensive look, Auburn has played in the SEC. That makes them tougher.
And Luck's mobile, but he's no Marshall.
Right.
He can't do a Marshall.
I didn't say that he was a great runner. I'm saying that the formations. Okay. The formations. Now, what I'm saying is this. Florida State can't help who they have on their schedule. But it'd be different if they had these teams and struggled to beat these teams. Now, that's a different argument. Yeah, they had Duke, but then they only beat Duke by 3 points, or they beat Miami by 2 points. No, they blew everybody out because that's what they should have done.
And
They held up their end of the bargain.
A couple games were close at the beginning too.
Close at the beginning, and then they second half they wiped the floor with them. Florida State.
No, one thing I've noticed about Auburn, they played the whole game through, straight out.
But a lot of the games were closer than Florida State's.
A lot of them were, yeah. But they played the whole game though.
We're just gonna have to wait and see, because I think Florida State, like I say, they held their end of the bargain by blowing out everybody they played against that was lesser competition.
I think the final score is going to be Auburn 48, Florida State 36.
All right, now moving on, we're gonna talk about the state of the NFC East and the NFL this season.
First place Eagles.
The NFC East has become, I would say, the battle for the toilet bowl. Somebody has to get in, so this is desperation. We already know it's going to come down to the Cowboys and the Eagles. We already know this.
I disagree. I don't think we're the toilet bowl. There's worse teams out there than,
with the exception of the NFC North.
The Texans.
I'm saying division-wise.
There's not
the division-wise.
NFC North they have pretty bad.
Okay, but NFC North is that people will look at that as like that's more than just two teams that can make it, right? Mm-hmm. You have the Bears, you have the Lions, you have the Packers. Those three teams can battle it out right here. And y'all's division is just y'all and the Cowboys, and right about that's going to come down to the last game, like it did last year. And we might as well get a bottle of water for Romo because he's going to choke.
At the end of the year, though, at the beginning of the year, they always say the Cowboys are going to win the division. Then they had the Redskins, then maybe the Giants. They had the Eagles at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But we came from the bottom of the division last year to first place now. And we have a new coach, new defensive coordinator, all that.
Yeah, so Chip Kelly was smart enough not to hire an offensive line coach as the defensive coordinator.
Whatever. They ain't got nothing to do with it. But, yeah, so the Eagles are playing good. They just lost to Minnesota this past week, but we won 5 in a row before then. They
so can you say, okay, so hold on, let's get it. You lost
and they beat quality teams.
Right, they did, but y'all lost to a Minnesota team without their best player.
They still had Greg Jennings.
Without their best player.
Okay, without their best
When you think Minnesota Vikings, who's the first thing that comes to your mind? Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
He didn't play, and they still beat y'all. So, Cowboys lost. Y'all lost.
Eagles lost. Cowboys lost to who?
Cowboys lost to the Green Bay Packers.
Without who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. Without Aaron Rodgers.
But
they were up by how much?
But they were up by 26-3.
Okay. And Matt Castle is a decent quarterback. He led the Patriots to a good season when he came in as a backup.
Yeah, but what did he do when he was a starter in Kansas City? Nothing.
He didn't have a good. I don't think he was in a good system.
It's the same exact team Alex Smith's playing with right now.
And I don't think it's that good.
All I'm saying
is the same. Andy Reid's the coach there now.
They run a different offense. Same nucleus.
They run a different offense.
Same nucleus.
Matt Castle could probably thrive in that offense.
I doubt it. But the point I'm trying to make is the Cowboys and the Eagles have gotten to a point where this division game is probably going to be one of the. This division race is just kind of like, I wish somebody would just go ahead and take it over so we can get this over with. It's not even of concern because I said what's going to happen. Cowboys will get there, this game, week 17, boom, Eagles, Cowboys, whoever wins goes to the playoffs, and it's going to come down between can Romo make it 4 quarters without blowing it? Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen.
So basically, it doesn't matter how the Eagles play at all. It's just up to Romo.
It's up to Romo. It's going to be up to Romo.
So it doesn't matter if the Eagles, play good. It's up to Romo to win or lose.
No, because I'm saying this because we already know what y'all can do. We already know what the Eagles can do. Mm-hmm. We already know that Shady McCoy is going to rush. We already know that Nick Foles is decent he's good without throwing picks. 2 picks in 6 games, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. We already know what the Eagles are capable of. Mm-hmm. This game is going to come down to, can Tony Romo play this game mistake-free if the Cowboys are going to win? And that's what I'm saying. Not saying that y'all are going to lose. I'm saying if the Cowboys are going to win, can Romo play this game without making mistakes?
And then I don't think you put it all on Romo neither. Because, You can also
the defense screws up too.
Defense playing horrible this year, and then play calling hasn't been what it's been cracked up.
You know what? That you cannot. There's no way in the world you can be up 26-3. Come out the second half and say, "Hey, I know my running backs averaging 7 yards a carry, but guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw the ball 32 times and run 7."
But that's what the Cowboys do. They're the number one team in the NFL throwing the ball when they have the lead.
And we see what that gets.
Yeah.
See what they got them. Des Bryant walking off the field. I don't agree with that. I think you stay out there. You take the beating like everybody else. You ain't special.
And I know we're talking about the top two teams, the Eagles and the Cowboys, but you had to talk about the horrible year Eli Manning's having. This dude threw 5 interceptions last year.
5 interceptions.
That's not,
you ain't your brother.
You can't do that.
You're not your brother, man. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't feel sorry for you. You got 2 Super Bowl rings. I don't feel sorry for you.
And then Kirk Cousins coming in for RG3, and he had a pretty decent game. Redskins didn't have nothing to lose, so they went for the 2-point conversion at the end of the game.
Yeah, you playing for pride now.
But I think Cousins still had a decent game, and I think the Redskins do have a chance to beat the Cowboys. But
they play, yeah. That's this week, right?
Yeah, that's this week.
That's gonna be a game. The Cowboys and if the Redskins beat the Cowboys, I firmly believe Jason Garrett should be fired.
Yeah, and the Eagles, they have a tough game Sunday night against Chicago, so it's gonna be pretty tough. But that's gonna end our segment on the main topic. So when we come back, we'll give you our top 10 power rankings for the NBA and the NFL.
When we come back.
Welcome back to Free For All Sports. We're going to hop right into our top 10 for the NBA. Starting at number 10, we got the Golden State Warriors.
Steph Curry.
Surprisingly, they're 13-12 coming off this past week. And Iguodala's back, so hopefully that'll help them out. But 13-12 is not going to cut it, man.
There were high hopes of Golden State, but then y'all became Golden State.
Yeah. Okay, and then at number 9, we got the Denver Nuggets, who surprisingly are playing okay under Brian Shaw. Probably be playing better under George Karl, but I can see a lot of George Karl's offense and how the way they play still in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then at number 8, we got the Phoenix Suns, who surprisingly don't have double-digit losses. They're actually playing good under the coach.
They got Jeff Hornacek as the coach, son.
That's Hornacek. But they're actually playing pretty good. They got Eric Bledsoe, who's given a chance to start in Phoenix, and they're doing all right. And then at number 7, we have the Houston Rockets, James Harden, Dwight Howard. At number 6, we have the Los Angeles Clippers, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Doc Rivers.
You're dropping down the list, Clippers.
Yeah. At number 5, we got the Miami Heat, who it doesn't really matter. They'll be in the finals at the end of the year.
Yeah, nobody's stopping them in the East.
And then at number 4, we got the San Antonio Spurs.
The silent but deadly
Spurs.
Silent but deadly Spurs.
Only have 4 losses on the year. And then at number 3, we got the Indiana Pacers, who they've already lost 2 games this week, but for right now, they're at number 3 on our list.
Kind of slipping down the list, too, there.
And then the top 2 right now, we have at number 2, Oklahoma City, and at number 1, the Portland Trailblazers.
The Trailblazers. Portland
is playing out of control basketball right now. Damian Lillard, LaMarcus Aldridge should be on the All-Star team right now.
There has not been a Trailblazer team this good since they had Sabonis and Scottie Pippen.
And Rasheed Wallace.
And Damon Stoudemire.
Damon Stoudemire.
And they had, Brian Grant.
Brian Grant.
Brian Grant had his one good season.
With the trade.
That was it. That team and the team that had Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter. That's it. Those are the only 2 years with the Portland Trailblazers. I remember them winning some games.
But surprisingly, Portland has found their groove. They got Lillard playing good. LaMarcus Aldridge averaging double-digit rebounds and double-digit points. And you got a good bench with Mo Williams, Darrell Wright coming off of it. So they're looking pretty formidable right now. Then Oklahoma City, you got the leading scorer, Kevin Durant, does what he does. And Russell Westbrook, who's playing like he wasn't even injured last year.
Kevin Durant, shameless plug. We just got some Kevin Durant saying the Dick's Sporting Goods. Just throwing it out there. All right. Now, rolling on. We're going to do the top 10 for the NFL. Starting at number 10, we got the Eagles.
Here he goes. First place.
Flew a little low this past Sunday, but they still in the top 10. We got the Cincinnati Bengals. Good defense, average offense, but hanging on at number 9. We got the Cardinals. Kind of teetering a little bit. They kind of snuck into the list this time, but okay. We got the New England Patriots at number 7.
Yeah.
I'm just,
They don't got Gronk, they might drop.
Yeah, Brady. I don't know who you're going to throw it to this week. Kansas City Chiefs at number 6. Whatever. We got the Niners holding it down to number 5, who should be higher, but we had a couple snags during the season. It is what it is. We got the number 4 team being the New Orleans Saints.
Who that?
Who that nation?
Who that got beat
Who
by
that
the
got
Rams?
dusted by the Rams on Sunday? That's who that was. St. Louis. Carolina at number 3. Cam. Whoa, Cam. Holding it down. But can we say Cam Newton? Can we say Luke Kuechly and that Carolina Panthers defense holding it down?
Yeah.
All right, we got at the number 2 spot, we got Peyton Manning and the Denver Nuggets. Yes, I said Peyton Manning
and the Denver Nuggets.
Denver Broncos. I'm sorry. And the Denver Broncos, I apologize. But at the end of the day, it's still Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. All right?
And Peyton's probably going to break that record by the end of the year.
Yeah, that record's done.
47 right now, 47 touchdowns.
Tom, it's over. It's over. It was fun while you had it. You had Randy Moss, but Peyton's he's about to shatter that.
Unbelievable season after all them neck injuries.
Number 1, Seattle Seahawks. Okay. That's great, y'all at number 1, but in case y'all don't remember, the number 5 team beat them. Just throwing it out there.
Okay.
49ers did beat the Seahawks.
They beat them away.
Doesn't matter. Did they lose?
Seattle beat them at home.
Doesn't matter. Did they lose?
Seattle's going to be home all throughout the playoffs, so therefore Seattle will not lose.
They got to win, and we got to lose Sunday for them to get home field.
What?
They have to win, and the Niners have to lose for them to get home field throughout the playoffs. They haven't clinched that yet.
Seattle's playing at home this week, so Seattle will win, and they'll have home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
They have to win, and the 49ers have to lose for them to get home field advantage. Both have to happen. It's not one or the other. Both have to happen. We're not losing to Atlanta.
Who did y'all play last week?
We played Tampa Bay. We got the Falcons Monday night.
Wait, what's Seattle's record? 11-3?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all are 10-4?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who Seattle played last game of the year?
Last game?
Yeah. It's probably another division game. They probably play St. Louis, then, right?
No, St. Louis. This week?
No.
Last week, I don't know. Look.
It
The
doesn't
fact
matter.
of the matter is,
Seattle's going to be number 1 seed.
Fact of the matter is,
they
got to win and we got to lose, and we ain't losing to the Falcons.
I don't know how this started talking about the 49ers in this, but it doesn't
it
matter.
is what it is.
About the number 1 team, talking about the Legion of Boom. And
The Legion of Boom is substance out.
Seattle got 5 interceptions.
Substance out.
Sorry, Eli Manning.
All their corners are locked up.
They do what they do, and what they do is win.
Whatever. All their corners are on substance abuse calls, whatever. So we'll see what they do the rest of the season.
Sherman not. At least he on that good stuff because he went to Stanford. But that's going to end our power rankings. We want to thank everybody for watching the show. Keep following us on Twitter. We appreciate the retweets and the favorites.
Loving it. I just want to give a shout out to the Norfolk Saints. Congratulations for winning the Junior Pee Wee division in the Pop 1 Super Bowl. Congratulations. Glad y'all can represent Norfolk. Very highly proud of y'all.
And like always, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram and our YouTube page, free, the number 4, all_sports.
Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all.